welcome to another episode of Anything and Everything with Donna Lisa. Today, I have a special guest with me that I've been working with actually for a couple of years now, on a personal level and professional level. I have Alexis Pascual with Rolling in Dough Bakery. She is actually a local bakery in my neighborhood, and she also works with a lot of industry associations and does weddings and other social events. Alexis, welcome to the podcast.
Hi everyone, thank you for having me.
No, thanks so much for being here, especially on your day off. I know how busy you are and how busy the bakery is, so I appreciate you taking time out on your day off to join me.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it. It's March, so wedding season is coming up, so this is the perfect time.
Awesome. Yeah. So are you guys getting busier with wedding requests right now? Just because we're still a little shut down, and I know with COVID happening, a lot of weddings postponed. How's that going with you? Have they rescheduled?
Yes, a lot of my brides have rescheduled, but I never stopped, surprisingly.
Oh,
People are
okay.
still getting married. It's just in a smaller scale. Lots of elopements, but the ones that are postponed, they are now kind of revving back up again and
Okay.
with even a bigger number. So
Really?
yeah, yes. So, but still, I don't book anything until like
Mhm.
a month prior, just because I'm still not sure, and they're not sure because some grandparents, like our older family members, we're still not sure how they're gonna do if they decide to fly in or not.
Right.
With Vegas being like a destination wedding for a lot of our families, it's hard for people to consider flying.
Yeah, especially the older folks. No, I totally understand because even for us on the event side, that was the issue why a lot of weddings were being postponed because of the grandparents or older parents. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah.
Well, I'm glad to hear that you guys are still doing well.
Hmm.
So I know a little bit about you and your background. For those that are, tuning in, the viewers and the listeners out there, tell us a little bit about how you got started in the bakery business, and how long you've actually been here in Las Vegas.
Ooh, long story.
That's okay. We have
um,
time.
so me and my sister started this a couple of years back. She and I grew up in a bakery. Literally,
Oh,
my house is on top of a bakery.
wow.
Yes, so my parents have three bake shops back home in Manila. And while I was growing up, because we're about 15, 16 years apart, she would actually manage a couple of them for my parents. So while I was growing up, she would be playing manager, and my parents would drag me to the store about 3 a.m. to get the deliveries in, and I would sleep in the bakery
Oh,
trays.
oh my
So that's
goodness.
kind of my childhood. My Christmas and summer vacations were behind the counter, and we're just like taking orders, and the customers would love it because there would be like a 5-year-old girl there. Hello, what is your order? Welcome to the store.
That's awesome. So you were pretty much raised in business.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So your typical Asian household with a
Yeah.
business underneath the residential
Okay.
area.
My grandfather had a store as well in the Philippines, about below his home. So I know what that's like. But I didn't. I was born and raised here in the States, but my father and his brothers and sisters, they all worked at the store.
Yup, yup.
Mhm.
See, so normal.
Typical, right? So you guys. So how long was it that you worked there with your family business before you folks decided to branch off and do your own thing here?
Oh, well, my sister left, and
Okay.
then I have my master's, a couple of master's degree in education. So I'm a
Wow.
teacher by trade.
Okay.
And when I moved to the United States, I worked for CCSD for a little bit. I taught kindergarten and first grade here. And but prior to that, I was teaching college. I did educational administration. I ran a couple of schools back in Manila. So very administrative management and pretty much also in the classroom.
Right.
So when I got here, worked for CCSD, worked with a lot of families in our neighborhood. So that was nice. And then my sister and I was like, we should go venture into a business. And here we are.
Nice. And so how long have you guys been open now?
So we purchased the current bakery about 4 years ago. So it was already up and running.
Okay.
Yes. And we kind of just got, well, just about now, we kind of made it more us
Hmm.
and kind of transitioned the recipes, our staffing, and kind of how we want to run it. It took us this long
Yeah,
to
you know
make
what?
that
I
transition.
think I reached out to you maybe right after you guys have actually took over because my first experience with you, I said you're in Summerlin and that's where I live. But my daughter's sweet 16 party, I
Yes,
needed
yes.
a birthday cake, and I said I don't, some of the other bakeries in town are on the other side of town, and I said I need somebody local, and you were right here, and I said perfect. So I ordered through you. She loved the cake, and then I posted it on social media and tagged you guys, and then that's when I started, yeah, getting it. I've been using you guys for some of the other events that we do in our industry, and for cookie orders and all that other good stuff. So you guys,
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
aside from cakes, you do cookies, cupcakes,
mm-hmm.
you do all sorts of baked goods, right?
Yes, yes. Pastries and desserts, all that fun stuff. Surprisingly, we have a lot of residential dinners during COVID. You know,
Okay.
when families just invite other families and just have like a nice sit down. They'll have it like really nicely catered because you can't go out.
Right.
So they'll have it catered and then they'll buy like really nice desserts from us to kind of have like a full course.
That's nice. Yeah, I like that.
Mm-hmm.
So they support the small business still, even if they're
Yeah.
not able to host a big event.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So has
Even
that
personal
been
chefs too.
okay? So has it been kind of keeping you guys, busy during the pandemic with events not
Yes.
happening? Okay.
Oh, we're so busy. I don't think we slowed down. We slowed down for the first 2 months, but even
Hmm.
those first 2 months, do you remember the time when the governor shut us down and then there was so much support pouring out for the first responders?
Hmm.
And so everyone were trying to support, they were trying to support local businesses. So we would always be in the hospitals delivering goods, the
Okay.
fire and police departments. We were there because people were just, hey, I'm part of this company and we kind of want to support and give love to our first responders. Can you take this much order to Summerlin Hospital or
Right.
UMC?
That's nice. That's nice that help with those that are giving back to community, especially, during times like this. Yeah.
And then after that, it was boom, boom, boom. Hey, oh, I guess we're back in business.
Right.
Everyone
And
come back.
well, and I think we were still kind of shut down, but in May, when my oldest, she graduated high school, or we were
Yes.
waiting to figure out when she's graduating, but I felt so bad for all the seniors, and I said, you know what, let's
hmm
just order like box cookies and deliver them to some of your closest friends, and so we did that, and you actually had some cute little designs with the toilet paper rolls, class of 2020, so it was really cute. Her friends really liked it, so and the cookies were good too.
Yay!
Yeah. But yeah, thanks so much for helping out with that. I mean, it was nice that you guys were still open and able to, put a smile on all the seniors' faces. And it's funny because I think this year's going to be the same thing. I don't know if
Really?
I'm not sure. They're hoping that the kids will go back in person, high schoolers, but again, it's optional. So I don't know
Oh.
what that means for graduation ceremonies. And my son's a senior this year, so I don't know if we're going to do it virtually again, where the parents sit outside and watch the kids, inside the
hmm
auditorium. But yeah, it's definitely an interesting year. I didn't think they would be kind of shut down this entire year. Last year, I thought, oh, these poor kids, they lost the last half of their year, but at least they had their homecoming. They had some stuff in the fall. This year, the kids, the seniors have kind of just not been on campus. So yeah, it's been interesting. But I'll definitely be calling you for his graduation cake.
Okay. 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 But in May.
Yes, for sure in May. So with all the changes going on with COVID and like weddings, how were you doing like wedding tastings for wedding cakes and all that? Did that change at all for you, or were you still conducting that?
A couple of my brides were more comfortable just picking up a box and then just doing it over
Okay.
Zoom.
Oh, okay.
Um, yes, other families were like, no, I need to be there. I need to talk to you face to face. Because, I mean, you know how nerve-wracking wedding
Yeah.
planning is. And my job is just to answer every single question and make life easier for them. So some of them prefer that. So I'd close the store down, lock up, and then just explain, hey, my doorbell is going to be ringing and my front
Right.
girls are just going to have to, take the orders outside, and I hope it doesn't bother you and ruin the tasting experience. But, it's more like a safety thing, and just so they're
Right.
comfortable, because, I'm still a full service bakery and people will still line up at the door and, crowd, the whole families will come in.
Yeah.
My place is super small.
And but you are always busy every time I go in there. And your staff, whether it's you or any of your staff members, when I email you guys for, and you know me, when you get an email from me, you're probably like, oh my gosh, it's another last minute wedding. But I always
Yeah.
email you for these pop-up weddings, and I always need pricing. And you're so good at your response time is very quick. So, knowing that you're actually there, being a part of the the bakery staff, and you're doing out all these quotes, and you're meeting with people face to face. It's a lot for you to manage, and your time management is very good because I don't wait very long to get pricing from you at all.
Oh, that's good to know. I'm like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, I haven't replied to Donna yet.
No,
Oh,
you're fine. I feel bad sometimes. I'm like, should I email her right now because I know she's so busy? But I do, and then you respond back before the end of the day, and I'm like, oh, that's awesome. So yeah, for
yeah.
anyone looking for somebody who can do a quick turnaround, Alexis is definitely your girl.
Yes, you'd be surprised. A lot of weddings recently is like, I'm getting married tomorrow,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna need a cake. And I'm like, sure.
Yeah, it is, especially because we are a destination, wedding. So it's slowed down a lot because of the pandemic, but I know a lot of people are with the casinos open, they are flying into town and doing quick last minute weddings.
Yes,
Hmm.
a lot of last
Yeah,
minute. And, I'm feeling the casinos are opening back up a little bit more. They're
they
getting
are.
full.
Yes.
A lot of rooms are blacked out already. And I'm like,
Hmm.
how? But it's happening.
I think they're waiting for spring breaks coming up. So hopefully the governor, this month in March will open us up a little bit more, especially with the vaccine and numbers going down. So we're positive about that, and everyone's just waiting for things to slowly reopen, and so we can start hosting events again safely, of course, so that
Mhm,
people feel
mhm,
comfortable. Yeah. But
mhm.
again, I'm glad that you guys are staying busy with that. So I always ask my guests this: what actually inspires you to do what you do, and how do you get your inspiration for all of the cute cakes that you bake?
Oh gosh.
That's a tough question.
That's a hard one for me. My inspiration, I don't really know. It's a little personal. Is that okay?
Yeah, no, that's fine.
Okay, so I have this weird thing that I feel like I am put on this earth for something that God wants me to do. And
Okay.
so if he put me here, then I need to be like 110% or it's nothing. I'm not good enough.
Oh my gosh, so you have high expectations of yourself.
Yeah. So that's why I'm like, oh, I'm kind of embarrassed to say it.
No, but that's good to hear. I mean, you're very driven. I like that.
But and that's where it comes from because I feel like, oh gosh, it's like I'm trying to please the Lord Almighty. So that's a that's a little bit of a high bar. So that's kind of where my motivation is. Like you gotta wake up
Nice.
and kind of like bloom where you're planted.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my inspiration. But for the cakes, I feel like the customer is my inspiration. So like when people come in to order and they're telling me about their party, because it's like a full interview. It's like buying a pet.
Right.
I was
Yeah.
told, it's like, okay, how are you going to do this? How are you going to transport this? Who's going to be in the party? So I get all that, and I get the backstory of the celebrant. I get the backstory of the family, and then for the most part, a lot of people don't know how to design their own cakes. So I'm always like, okay, let's put it at chef's choice. I'm going to sit on this, and I'm going to deliver you this cake based on what you just told me, and
Mm-hmm.
it works out really good that way. And when it's that route that I take when I take orders, it's usually very custom to that particular person, and it resonates more to them. So it's more personal. So at
Right.
the end of the day, we try to have no two cakes alike.
That's awesome. So
So
if somebody or a bride came in and had no inspiration photos at all, you really have to sit down, take the time to get to know them as a person because yeah, your vision might be different from what they're thinking of if you have no idea what their background, their backstory is. Yeah.
yeah, and that's the hard part because when there's a disconnect with my client bride or just a regular birthday,
Mhm.
um, at the end of the day, if there's a disconnect, they're not going to be happy, and if they're not happy, then I'm
Right.
not happy because I mean I feel like every moment is special and every celebration is special, so the cake has got to be on point.
Right.
So if it's not, like, I actually have nightmares about this.
You have cake nightmares. No, I get it. It's like, because I help, family and friends with their wedding planning. And sometimes when they have no idea, they don't have inspiration photos at all. And I have my set vendors because, you guys work so well with clients, whether it's my florist or, you as my baker. I'll tell them sometimes, look, this is what I'm envisioning, but if you have a different vision, let me connect you to the baker because it's easier for them to understand what you're
Mhm.
looking for. So sometimes I'll just send them straight directly to you, and I'm just like, okay, because you're the cake person. I'm trying to, do
Do
everything
everything
else like the
else.
decor for the wedding. And that's your expertise. So I'm not going to overstep my boundaries and try to make it seem like I can sell them on the, a certain cake design. So yeah, but thanks so much for being patient with bride because you're right. Weddings they're a lot of work because they're very emotional. It's not like
Very
a
emotional.
corporate event. When I order cookies or baked goods for our corporate clients, it's different. But a wedding,
Mhm.
it's very emotional and bright. I mean, it could be the wrong shade of pink on the cake, and then she's crying. So,
Yes,
yeah.
have had that happen.
Oh
It's
my
harder.
gosh.
Yes, yes. It's harder when it's not just a bride. When her bridesmaids are also helping her decide, and
Yes.
the rest of the family, the mother-in-law, the groom, and the groom's entire family.
Right. Groom's mother. Yeah, that's a lot
It's
to deal
hard
with.
for one person to take all of this opinion and make a
Right.
cake out of it.
Right. So, do you and your sister have plans to grow your business here in Las Vegas?
Uh, we want to grow it in a way where we want to be more of a well-oiled machine and perfect the customization of cakes, which,
Okay.
honestly, I've been researching for months now, a couple of years now, about how it is that you can kind of standardize custom, because in itself it's kind of a polar opposite thing. How can you standardize something that you're trying to personalize to
Right.
a single customer? So I feel like our bakery is special because we don't come from a book. Our cakes are not just, hey, here's our catalog, pick W
Right.
wedding cake 1275. Because, like I said, the best wedding cakes really come from interviewing my couples, or best birthday cakes are come from interviewing the celebrant herself or her family. So it's
Yeah.
what I struggle with. I want to grow it, but at the same time, I want to keep the business model of making it super personal. So it's a struggle.
So you're all about the customization and personalization. You don't want to be that standard cookie cutter bakery. Like, you can go to the grocery store and see, the Disney princess cake. You definitely want to
Mhm.
make it personal to each of your clients. That's
Yes,
awesome.
absolutely. Just because, I feel like I said, it's each one is special, and it's not like
Yeah.
this Princess Tatiana little girl has the same personality as this Princess Tatiana little girl.
Right. Yeah.
So one will be like more, feminine, and one will still be, a more outgoing one. So
Hmm.
so different.
So is your family back home? Are they excited that you and your sister decided to, get back into the bakery business?
No.
Oh, they're
They're my family, my parents in particular, so mortified that we went into this
oh,
business.
really?
Yes, they were like, don't do it. You are going to be cut off from this family if you do it, level.
Oh, that's so
Very
funny. Is
exaggerated.
it just because of the time involved? Do they not want you? Okay.
Exactly. Exactly. Because they know that it'll eat up your life.
Yeah,
because
it's a lot. Yeah.
yeah, because me and my sister, we basically live in the bakery. We're there, I don't know, more 12, 14 hours a day. Some
Right.
on like Mayhem, because it's, what
Right.
May the 4th be with you, and then graduation, and then Mother's Day, and then
Right.
teachers appreciation, nurse appreciation. I think there's also, if I'm not mistaken, it's firefighter and
Hmm.
police appreciation as well. It's all in May. And those days we clock out at 4 in the morning, come back at 7 in the morning.
Oh my goodness.
So,
So do you add to your staff, your team members during that time?
no,
It's just, oh my
because
gosh, really?
I can't train new people because they don't know. So the
Right.
people I work with are experts in where I put them in, where they're assigned to. So if I throw in another person who like a temp,
Right.
they they're just going to, like I said, it's so personal. They're not going to understand it or appreciate how the business works. If they haven't been with me for a year during the slow time, they're not going to understand it when it's crazy fast paced and there's no sleeping and it's everyone's just high stress, high volume, high
Right.
production.
That's
So
tough.
it's just,
Yeah.
yeah, we just double up on speed. And then so when it's lean, like in January, we're all like, okay, everyone relax, sit
Hmm.
down, let's plan for the year.
Wow. Yeah, you definitely have to be strategic in that. And I've seen your family when I picked up I've seen your husband and your little boy at the shop. So it just, your parents are probably like, oh gosh, you're doing the same thing we did with you.
Exactly. You didn't learn from my mistakes.
That's tough because it's funny because I come from a background with where my parents, they had a family business after my brother and I graduated high school, and it's different because their expectation was they were hoping that we were going to take over the family business, and we didn't. So they were a little disappointed, but we had different routes. Is that, oh, hi,
Oliver, say hi.
good
Yeah, you want your
morning.
markers? Hi. He
So
doesn't care. He
cute.
wants markers.
That's fine. I've had dogs on my podcast. It's okay. My dogs are always barking too, and then I can hear my kids laughing when they're talking to their friends. So it's fine. He's so cute. Did he just get up? He's just been
Um,
walking around.
Walking around. I think he just had breakfast.
Okay, okay. So do you hope that maybe one day he wants to learn about the family trade?
Oh no, I feel the same way
No.
as my mom does. I hope he finds something else.
But it's your passion. Like you're so good at it. You're great at the creative design side of cakes too. And your cakes are and your baked goods are so tasty. They're not like a regular cake. It's very good. So it's something you're passionate about. And I think if you continue with it, maybe your parents will see. Well, this is what she really loves to do. We should just be happy for her.
Well, thank you. I really think it's just the bloomer you are planted. Because, like I said, I'm a teacher by trade.
Right,
I started out, and I feel like even if I grew up in a bakery, I still don't know what I'm doing. I feel like
really.
everything is still like, okay, I need to learn this. Let me
Hmm.
take a second to learn this technique because,
Right.
like I said, I spent 10 years learning about children and
Hmm.
how they learn. So it's still new to me, but like with my motivation being, oh, I got to do this right
Hmm.
110% or else I'm a failure in the eyes of God.
You're so funny. You're not a failure at all. I mean, I've seen your business grow and get busier, and that's awesome. Now, so is there a daily quote that you like to start your day off with?
Don't mess up today. I have no idea. I don't have a daily code. I just like wake up and just go for it.
Start your day. Yeah. God, you're
Yeah,
so
there's
busy too. I just see, I mean, because you're right, the bakery has to be open early, right? And you guys have to get your start early in the day. And then when you have a lot of orders, you're ending late in the day too. I know the
yes.
last few times I've been able to get on the phone with you for different things, it's always been after hours, and you're always, it's funny when I talk to you, you're like, well, I'm sitting in my driveway and it's like 7:30 at night. I'm like, oh, okay. And I totally
Yeah,
understand the feeling because When you have little ones at home, you don't want to have to walk in and then have all these distractions when you're trying to just talk business. So yeah, I can relate sometimes.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know this, but the back of house, we actually serve about a couple of restaurants and cafes around town. So what you see
Yeah.
is just the facade. The back is crazier because I have deliveries
Hmm.
to a couple more wholesales.
I think we were talking about that the last time, it was a few months ago. It was a while back, and I remember you were mentioning to me that, especially during the pandemic, like you were servicing a lot of restaurants with baked goods, and I was like, oh, I didn't even realize that. So that's awesome. But it's
Mhm.
busy though, but it's a great thing. It keeps you guys steady with business.
Yes. If they're good,
Nice.
I'm good.
Awesome. Well, I'm not going to take up too much of your time because I know it's your day off. You're one day off a week and you're home with your family. But I appreciate you so much for doing this and always taking my calls and not ignoring me when I reach out.
We love you.
You're so awesome. No, I really wanted to hear your story. I had no idea you were in the educational field and decided to just go back to
Just
you
jump
know
in.
I would have never known. So thank you for sharing that with us. And I hope I get to catch up with you again in a couple months and see how you guys have grown. Maybe you'll have a second location. You never
Yeah.
know.
When I figure it out.
There you go. Yeah. Well, you're doing a great job, Alexis. I definitely hope to see you guys again at another networking event. I know it's been a while. It's been over a year. So
I miss your face.
I know, and I'll definitely be ordering cookies. Now that you mentioned May Mayhem, I got to put my order in for that graduation cake soon because I don't want to stress you out with my last minute orders.
Oh, by the way, I need cookies
I
tomorrow.
know. I do that to you all the time, and you're like, well, okay, how many do you need? So I'm not trying to let everyone know that that's the right thing to do, but just saying if it's something last minute, Alexis you always have a good variety of stuff in your store already set. So if it's something you can't do customized for me, I just walk in and I'm like, oh, okay, perfect. I'll just pick up a box of cookies here and there. So thank you. Yeah. Awesome. Well, enjoy the rest of your weekend, my dear. And I hope to see you again soon. I'll be in your shop soon. Okay. Bye, Alexis.
Bye. Thank
You're
you.
welcome.